Some of you will remember a video I posted about a month back with a title in Arabic. Well, that whole entire thing completed on eBay last night for $34,100. Sold. Everything in there. This is a mid-60s Sylvania color tabletop TV, and I started working on this a few years back, and it needed capacitors and the cataract removed, and I just got busy and I kind of parked it in the back of the garage kind of thing. So decided I'm going to pull it back out and work on it over the next couple weeks or so, complete it, try and get it going. The video you're about to see I shot in 6/15/2013, so it's about a couple years old, and it looks like the cataract here has really gotten even worse. And originally I thought this was the Zenith style, that was the rubbery one that you have to cut off with a guitar string, cut the front off. But now that I see this cracking here, I'm not quite sure what this is. And of course, delaminating these rectangular ones is far more risky and dangerous of implosion than the round ones, because the uneven area, they tend to collapse a lot easier. So I'm almost tempted to suggest to myself to try and do the CRT before I do the capacitors in the set. These tabletops have become extremely rare, as you might know. They're very hard to find. And there are people out there that want them. Tube color tabletop sets. So this will be part one of this, which the video you're about to see is a couple years old, but it's still relevant because I basically haven't done anything to this since that video. So that'll be part one. And then maybe in a week or two, part two will be pulling the CRT out and trying to clean this thing up right here. This is about a 1967 or 66 Sylvania portable color tube set. You can see it has a really kind of bizarre bad cataract which needs to be removed. The CRT tests marginal to barely okay. I've restored a couple other of these from the same, that I picked up from the same place. And I pulled the back off of this one, and several of the bulbs are missing. So I've scrounged them all up and got them all together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug them in and power this thing up and see what it does. I'm not going to variac it, I'm just going to plug it in and turn it on. I could really kind of care less if it explodes into flames and expires. In fact, that would be kind of cool. Okay, all the tubes are plugged in, and I'm leaving the plate cap off the horizontal output tube. I'll plug that in once everything warms up, if it warms up. absolutely no idea what's going to happen here. Ooh, boy. Ding. Let's do that again. Let's do that from back here. Oh, pop the circuit breaker. Kind of think it has shorted filters in there. Let me do this. Let me turn it off before something explodes in here. Let me feel the filters. No, but I smell something burning. And I see smoke. And the smoke is coming from right down in here somewhere. Something here is smoking. Let me get a flashlight. I don't see anything that looks it's being cremated here. Let's power it back up and oh. Is it that resistor right there? Why doesn't this thing want to focus anymore? This is at a 56 ohm resistor. Have to see where that is in the schematic and see what could be shorted. Maybe this tube is shorted. Nope. Still smoking. Huh, so no sound.
Okay, what I've done is I pushed the circuit breaker in and I'm letting the filaments warm up. So I'm going to let the filaments get good and hot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if we get high voltage. Okay, here goes. Yes, we have high voltage. Oh. Imagine that, it's kind of working. Where's the... No volume whatsoever, totally dead. See if that resistor's smoking. Yep, the resistor's just sitting there smoking away. Turn our biases up a little bit. Oh, look at that. So anyway, it's thing stopped smoking. Maybe it finally just burned out. Let's see. Turn green down. That's blue. Blue, green. Well, red is almost non-existent. How's our smoke doing here? Seemed to stop smoking. It's hot, but not real hot. Okay, so no sound. I need to check that 56K resistor. No sound at all. That could be some kid stuck a twig in the earphone jack. You always gotta check the earphone jack first. Make sure that kid didn't stick a twig or something in there. Let's see, how do I put it in service mode? Actually, let me unplug it and check the filter capacitors real quick. Ooh, that one's hot as hell. Wow. So that one's trying to reform. Now what I found is you let them get real hot and then you unplug it and let them cool off and they're reformed. But if you plug them in and you leave them on, they'll just vent. They'll just outgas and vent and explode. So that one's probably gone far enough. One thing I wanted to do is I wanted to put this in service mode. I guess this is service mode right here. I don't want to run this too long because I don't want to blow that capacitor up. Okay, so there we are in service mode. Well, I can get a red and green line. Of course, green is way better, blue. So I think the CRT should be usable. I gotta take a break and let this filter capacitor cool off. That one right there to the right, that one is smoking hot right now. And I should pull the schematic and see what that 56K resistor, what that thing does. Let me see what model is this. This is a 19 TC12W. Wow, that cap is hot. Okay. High voltage works, no sound. 56 ohm resistor. And that's for a start. Okay, so is it that resistor right there? So that one would be R89, or it could be this one right here, which could be 95. So let's look at 80, 89, and 95. Okay, 89 is 1,000 ohms, so that's not it. 95. 95 is a 56 5.6K, and I thought it was a, so that would be blue, green, red, and that one looked like blue, green, black, so this could be it. And this one goes to a 10 microfarad here. And then it goes to the convergence panel. That could very well, that capacitor right there could very well be shorted. Let's see if that's the capacitor that was getting hot. That was A. This is the one that was getting hot. It's very likely just a shorted capacitor that needs to be reformed. 66. So, not bad for a 1966. Needs some capacitors and the cataract done and the sound fixed. Probably could be a shorted capacitor causing no sound also. See what it uses here. This uses a 6AQ5 for the sound. See, there don't look like there are any electrolytics right there, but